My name is Councillor Andy Furse. I'm Councillor for Kingsmead Ward in the centre of Bath, but also for this last year I've been Chair of the Council of Bath and North East Somerset. This Shining Light Award, in my view, is sort of a recognition that we can't all be together and that we've all done things differently, and some people, those who are part of this award scheme, have done things beyond the call of duty, really.
To have a town or a county where there is a volunteer on every street, something that I think is probably unsurpassed.
Really exceeded all expectations. They've been helping neighbours and their wider community. Simple things like shopping, posting things that, just what you would normally, you wouldn't think of matters, so just getting out of your front door, that many of those vulnerable groups haven't been able to do.
For us, it's been a year like no other, really, when we had, 1,000 people in a couple of days, all the way through 13 months later, when so many of those people are still involved, still helping their neighbours. They're still looking after each other. It's been incredible.
To me, it's the little things you hear about that are going on.
Things like WhatsApp groups sprang up all over, and students were a key part of that, of offering to help in their local community, offering to fetch things for neighbours.
And the way the voluntary sector have come together, absolutely amazing that has come together and how that's been launched.
The whole thing that happened around the Wellbeing hub, when all that was set up and there was that massive, impressive effort.
The huge organisations working together to think how could they work differently, through to charities and third sector organisations thinking about how they could support their community and the people that use their services the best.
And really reaching out and providing a service to the community of Bath and North East Somerset.
I'm proud of the way that organisations have supported one another, and I'm also proud of how they've supported the people that use services, and I'm also exceptionally proud of the support that our community has shown and the compassion that our community has shown one another.
Because of their own DNA of helping others, have really gone beyond what they would normally do in their day job. Groupings, whether it's organised or just neighbours, have really stepped up.
The community response has been amazing, but I think it's been at all different levels. I think it's really showed our local constituents and population in a really good light.
Some people have been, we see them and we know the organisations, and then there's been individual acts. And I think that's really good that can be recognised as well.
I think it's really important that the community recognises that spirit in order to encourage people to do it, or to sort of shine a light on that very selfless, generous act, because it's all the things that are good about the community.
They sacrifice a lot of their own time. They have to put things that they want to do to one side, and they do it because they care about other people and they're compassionate people. So it's so nice to have this award ceremony where we can just say thank you and we can recognise what they've done for somebody else. And it doesn't have to be, a big embarrassing thing. It's just this saying thank you, and for us that's really important.
It's been unprecedented, this pandemic, and actually acknowledging what people are doing, what they've done, is really, really important, and we value people and organisations' contributions.
We don't hear about lots of these little acts, and something like this just draws all that out and shows how much of this goes on.
So I find the judging panel that's my favourite meeting of the whole year. Normally we sort of dread these high levels of numbers of meetings, but the community, the Shining Light Awards is this year, is a real privilege to be a part of. It's also the hardest meeting that you attend, because you sit there and you see these, 10, 15, sometimes 20 incredible nominations, and they can be, amusing, heartwarming, definitely inspiring. But to choose between the people or organisations or initiatives is nearly always impossible.
Welcome, everyone. Good evening, and welcome to our Shining Lights Virtual Awards evening. This past year has been an exceptionally difficult year due to the coronavirus pandemic, and tonight is a big thank you to all the work that you have done across Bath and North East Somerset. In the past years, we would have held our community awards at a large venue where we can enjoy the celebration together, but unfortunately this year it is not possible. We decided this year that it was important to shine a light on individuals, teams and organisations that have made an exceptional contribution during this last 12 months. The quality of the nominations this year has been extremely high, and we have been blown away by all your stories. I want to thank our partners who have helped me make a very difficult job in a little easier, but we did have to make those difficult decisions, and in the end we decided to give away 12 awards and not the usual 10. In addition, everyone who has been nominated will receive a certificate of thanks, and we will send this out to you after the event. The winners of the awards are always highly guarded. It's always a highly guarded secret, so you will be surprised when we make the announcements tonight. We have made a few videos about each of the winners via special messages recorded by your nominators and colleagues, sharing some insights into what you have done over the past year. We will show these throughout the evening. All the winners will receive a Bath Aqua Glass Award, which we will arrange to be delivered to you after the event. The volunteer service will be sharing announcements on Twitter and Facebook throughout the evening. And if you are on Twitter, please do follow them on @volunteer Bath-ness, @volunteer Baines, and include a hashtag Shining Light Award, all one word, Shining Light Award, all one word. If you can find them on Facebook at Bath and North East Somerset Community Volunteer Centre as well. We will be recording the event this evening, so if you want to watch it back or share it with others, then you're able to view it from tomorrow from the Council's YouTube page. Please don't worry, we will not ask any of the winners to speak or spotlight them on the screen tonight, so you can all sit back and relax and enjoy the stories of some very special people and organisations. So let's get started. I want to start the celebration this evening to recognise two inspiring young people who are a fantastic example of our Shining Light Awards. They should be very proud of their achievements, and I am very pleased that we can recognise their efforts this evening. I would like to invite Mike Plows, Universal Service Leader for the Wellbeing Service at Virgin Care, to announce our first two Shining Light Award winners this evening. Over to you, Mike.
Thank you. So our first winner for the Shining Light Award goes to a young man who does so many things. He's a carer for his mum. He provides support to others in his drama group by starting a prayer circle at the start of the pandemic. He's also helped create a short film for Bath Area Play Project and about young people and how they have felt during the COVID pandemic. He has recently started volunteering with BA1 Radio. He is now a regular weekly slot on Thursday afternoons, if you like to tune in and listen to him. Please congratulate Charles Dennett-Lewis. We have a special message from Luke Nix from BA1 Radio about Charles.
I've been working with Charles now for the past sort of 4 months, and I remember the first time that actually I met Charles, virtually of course, because the virtual world that we're living in now. And Charles got in contact with us at BA1 Radio because he was interested to get involved and learn some new skills, and and give something back to the community as well. He was very keen about presenting his own radio show, and throughout the last 4 months or so, he's been going through our training remotely. And the thing that's always sort of stuck out for me about Charles is that he's a very passionate, dedicated, and just genuinely smiley, happy, nice, all-around great guy. And Charles is the type of person I've got a lot of time for. We need more Charleses in the world, let's be honest. So throughout the last sort of 4 months, he's gone through training with us over Microsoft Teams, and he's now been presenting a radio show on a Thursday afternoon where he talks about local news, intros and outros of songs, and also tries to get the audience involved with the show as well, which is always interesting, always a little bit challenging. People aren't necessarily so forthcoming to get on the radio, but he does really give it a good go. And over the last few weeks in particular, I've seen great and vast improvements as time's gone on with Charles's presenting. He's always keen to do more, and genuinely somebody that I've got a lot of time for. I don't think it's just BA1 Radio that he's been doing great stuff for in the community. There's been loads of other organisations as well, and I truly think Charles really does deserve this award. He's such a nice, genuine guy, and always wants to do as much as he can to help others out, and especially in times like they are at the moment, a bit of compassion is always goes a long way. So well done, Charles, and I really look forward to finally eventually getting to meet you, and I'm looking forward to you growing as a presenter here on BA1 Radio. It's great to have you on board, so a big well done from all of us.
Congratulations, Charles. Fantastic video by Luke. We need more Charleses. Yeah, we definitely do. The next award goes to a very young person. Amy Phillips, who is aged 7 years old, created a book called The Very Hungry Honeybee to raise funds for the NHS. She started to write and illustrate a book in January of this year, and her goal has been to raise £100 by her 8th birthday. Amy's mother, who nominated her, said Amy decided to create the book to make as much money as possible for the health service, while it faced its biggest challenge in living memory. Amy likes to give herself challenges and regularly clapped for the NHS on Thursdays, which has inspired the creation. Congratulations, Amy.
Congratulations, Amy and Charles, and thank you very much, Mike. A shining example of very dedicated, ambitious young people. We have received a number of nominations for local businesses who have adapted their services during the last year, putting isolated and vulnerable people at the centre of what they do. Many local pubs and community-owned shops offer a vital service to their local communities, providing a central hub where additional services are offered and bring people together. Sadly, COVID-19 had an impact on many businesses who were unable to open during the first lockdown, and many people who relied on them most became very isolated. However, the stories of our nominations show the remarkable resilience and adaptability these businesses have had to ensure they continue to serve their communities. The next two awards go to a local pub and a community shop. I would like to invite Ghika Savva, the Student Liaison Coordinator with the Student Community Partnership, to announce our next two winners of the Shining Light Award. Over to you, Ghika.
Thanks, Andy. This award goes to a business that adapted its services to meet the needs of the local community. Described as generous and caring, this business has gone over and above. Gwen, who nominated them, said not to be defeated and seeing an urgent need to assist in the local community, they offered a delivery-only shop, providing food and urgent supplies to the community on a 24/7 basis. This was especially useful for those who were shielding and suddenly told not to go out. They've been a true beacon of community and have demonstrated utter resilience over a roller coaster of a year. Please congratulate David Yeoman from the Crown Inn in Keynsham. We've filmed David's nominated Gwen, who will explain more about the work that they've done.
Hi, I'm Gwen Edwards. I'm a resident of Stockwood Vale in Keynsham, and I'm really delighted to nominate David, Luke and the team at the Crown Inn in Keynsham. Before lockdown, they had a super successful pub and B&B, and of course lockdown changed everything for pubs up and down the country. David, though, was not going to be defeated. He rapidly pivoted and realised there was a real demand in the community for food to be delivered, particularly amongst those that were shielding and vulnerable who couldn't get out, probably had quite poor internet skills. So he set up a shop in the pub. People could phone him and he would deliver same day, and the team worked round the clock. They were so busy just keeping that moving for the community. Then as things changed, they opened a physical shop so we could actually go in and buy whatever we needed, including yeast and toilet rolls. It was amazing. Anything you wanted, David would get for you. And you could either go there to shop or he'd deliver. He also, in parallel with all of that, he did takeaway food. So meals that were ready to go into the oven, he would deliver them or you could go and collect. He also, there's more, he made food for the local school kids. So free school meals obviously stopped, but any child in need in the local community, they could go and they would get food from David. So he would do the package of stuff for that family that they could take home. As things changed again, this guy is not going to be defeated. So he pivoted once more. He reopened the pub, but not as a pub. No, a takeaway cafe with coffee and cake. Brilliant. The shop's still going. He's still doing food for the local kids. Then, as things change again, he's reopened the pub garden. He's built a kitchen garden, and now he's serving food out in the garden. Of course, the team are also getting ready to reopen the inside of the pub when things change, hopefully on the 17th of May. This guy doesn't give up. He is super resilient, and everything he does and has continued to do throughout lockdown and throughout COVID has been centered around what the community needs and how he can help them. Completely selfless. Thanks, David. You and the team are amazing. So when David had the little shop open, he made sure that any NHS staff or key workers that were working nights could still get food and essentials. All they had to do was phone him up and he would open a shop in the middle of the night just for them to go shopping, and he even gave them a discount.
Congratulations to David, that's truly inspirational. Our second award goes to a local community shop that's been serving their community since 1997. At the start of lockdown in March 2020, the shop identified the need to offer a delivery service, which they'd never done before. The shop and the local parish council worked together to identify local residents who were self-isolating and shielding. With a team of 40 village volunteers, they assisted local residents not just with shopping, but also with things like dog walking and befriending calls. Their nominator said, because the village is quite small, it's always a struggle to make ends meet, and volunteers have to find new funding to back any new initiatives that they start. There's been a huge amount of collective effort to keep the shop running and serving the village, and they certainly deserve some recognition. Please congratulate Wellow Village Shop. We've filmed Alice, one of the volunteers at the shop, to explain more about the work that they've been doing over the last year.
My name is Alice Harper and I'm on the volunteer committee for Wellow Village Shop in Wellow. The shop's run by a part-time manager, a part-time assistant, but otherwise it's run entirely by volunteers from the village. We sell all sorts of produce and take orders for meat and fish and bread, and we're especially important for people who don't have cars because there isn't a regular bus service. The shop's normally a fantastic community hub that helps coordinate village life, but as soon as lockdown happened last year, we realised people who were shielding and had been asked to self-isolate were finding it very difficult to get supermarket deliveries. So we needed to offer a delivery service. First, volunteers produced an order form and sent it out to every villager. And meanwhile, other people set off to scout the supermarkets for things in short supply, like loo rolls and pasta that our suppliers weren't delivering. Then on Monday evenings, volunteers packed boxes with basic groceries. Tuesday mornings, another team took delivery of all the fresh items and completed the delivery boxes. And finally, another team, alerted via a WhatsApp group, organised deliveries. And all this had to be done with social distancing and rigorous COVID hygiene. Over the following weeks, the shop was responsible for well over 250 deliveries and was still making deliveries today to villagers who need it. Overall, these deliveries have proved an essential service that some of our older villagers say has been a literal lifesaver for them.
Thank you, Ghika. Many congratulations again to Wellow Village Shop and David Yeoman at the Crown, who have been working extremely hard during this last year. Congratulations to you all. On to our next award, which highlights people in a caring role. There has been immense pressure on carers during this last year, and I'm sure you will have heard many stories of carers going above and beyond, putting others first before their own needs. The nominations we received are no exception, described as amazing, brilliant, reliable, patient, and sensitive people. We are lucky to have these incredible, dedicated people within our community. I would like to invite Ruth Atkins, Head of Public Engagement and Insights at the Clinical Commissioning Group, to announce the next winner of the Shining Light Award. Over to you, Ruth, please.
Thank you. The winner of this Shining Light Award goes to a carer that has gone over and above, nominated by a retired couple who she's cared for over the past 2 years. She's been described as reliable, selfless, and having a great sense of humour. Mrs. Robb, who nominated her, said, "Our carer and their family have rallied round to protect us all at some cost to family life by limiting contact with others. Our carer is in our bubble and us in hers. We're so grateful to her and all the family for their support." Please congratulate Diane Pakarski. We have filmed Mrs. Robb, who Diane cares for, and her husband, who will explain what she has done for them.
My request of a carer, a Pearl, to appear, and somebody replied, was interested, and came to meet us, and that was it. It was good.
More or less instantly knew that she would be fine, you know, she'd be great with us.
Yeah.
And she had the same response, to be honest. Just took to each other, the three of us, really. Almost like she was a member of the family. And she's got green fingers, and so has Laurence.
Yeah.
Except she needs someone to be her green fingers for her.
Yeah.
And Diane is that person, which has helped us enormously. She's kind and thoughtful, and as I say, she's intuitive.
Well done.
We rely on her. It's just that, you know, she's just a very reassuring person. I've been shielding. Laurence hasn't, interestingly. So that's a bit strange, even though she's very vulnerable. So we've been pretty much stuck at home. And Diana sort of brought the outside world in with her, as you might say. And it'd been an important social contact.
Thank you.
And thank you for looking after us.
Thank you again, Ruth, and many congratulations again to Diane. You have gone above and beyond in your support for the people you care for. Next, we have received a large number of nominations for local charities, organisations and their teams who have adapted their services or even delivered new services to support local people. For many of them, they have relied on an army of volunteers, some of whom were first-time volunteers in their community. And with COVID rules, there were lots of challenges to overcome. In this category, we have 5 awards to give away. I would like to begin by inviting James Carlin, Director of 3SG, to announce the first 3, please. Over to you, James.
Thanks. The next winner is a group of mothers who have supported new mums throughout the pandemic. In normal times, they would attend groups at community centres, children's centres, and on the postnatal ward at the RUH. In March 2020, when they had to stop doing any in-person volunteering, they set up a Facebook group to provide an alternative means of support. As lockdown eased, the group have provided walk and talk sessions, and most recently, they've restarted to drop in at Percy Community Centre. Their nominator, Sally Tedstone, said, "This nomination is to celebrate all the volunteers in the group who've been absolutely fantastic. They've provided a listening ear, a virtual shoulder to cry on, and really important information and support to new mums going through a very difficult and potentially isolating time. And all this whilst caring for their own families, homeschooling and working from home. I'm just so very proud of them all and what they've given the new mums in our area, and I really want to celebrate them, each and every one, for the care and compassion they've shown through this difficult time." Please congratulate the Bath and West Wiltshire breastfeeding peer supporters. Well done to a fantastic team of volunteers. The next award goes to a group of volunteers that was set up prior to the onset of the COVID pandemic, providing support to elderly, isolated people living in the Chew Valley area. They organised social events such as tea parties and other things, bringing people together. When the groups were not able to meet up, the volunteers delivered cake and Sunday lunches to people's homes. Each isolated person was allocated a buddy who regularly rings up to see how that person is and to try and work through any practical difficulties that they might have. Viv Daniels, who nominated them, said, "This fantastic lady and her team of helpers deserve a medal. They go beyond to help people in the community." Please congratulate Sam Oliphant and the Chew Chat team. We have a short message from their nominated Viv, who has benefited hugely from the support they have offered.
Tell me about why it is that you nominated them.
Because they're so caring. They give up so much of their time. Some even turned over her house for an exercise class. And the courtyard. She does so much for people. On a Saturday, they were delivering fish and chips. On a Sunday, they would get lunches from Chew Kitchen and deliver those. On a Friday, they get people, volunteers, to make cakes, and they organise cake delivery for everyone. When you're used to having your husband around, it's very lonely, isn't it? But Sam organised a buddy called Hayley, who came round to see me, said, "I'll do your shopping for you." She rings me every week to see if I'm all right. They're lifesavers, really, because people could. I am not a depressive person, luckily. I don't get depressed, but I know there are a number of people that get very depressed. And for them, having that contact and people that care, you know, that is the main thing. It's caring, isn't it? Chew Chat, all of them, every one of them deserve a medal because they're brilliant.
It's fantastic. The next award goes to a team which includes a member of staff and 80 volunteers who have supported the rollout of the vaccination campaign in the Chew and Summer Valleys. The team have helped to meet and greet patients, including those older patients who are frail, and have kept them informed and safe in and around the vaccination site. The feedback from patients has been extremely positive. The nominator Helen Harris said, "Many thanks to our volunteer group for this amazing support, including those early mornings and late finishes. You're all shining lights in your community. Please congratulate Denise Perrin and one COVID vaccination community volunteer group." We have a short message of thanks from Helen Harris, who nominated them.
Hello everyone, my name is Helen Harris and I'm Three Valleys Health Primary Care Network Manager. Three Valleys Health is a group of 9 independent practices working together in rural northeast Somerset and caring for 68,000 registered patients. I nominated Denise Perrin, Project Manager, West of England Rural Network, and her team of community volunteers for this very special Shining Light Award. Denise and the team have supported Three Valleys Health to deliver over 30,000 COVID vaccinations to our elderly, frail and complex needs patients at the Somerset Centre in Midsummer Norton, and we're now well into our second dose campaign. Denise was really quick to offer support with the vaccination campaign and identified and trained over 80 volunteers. Between them, they've supported over 400 clinic hours at the Somerset Centre to date. And particularly Denise and the team provide a really warm welcome to patients when they arrive and support patients to be safe as they move around the building. And patients are delighted with this service provided. Since January, typical UK weather, we've endured most weather conditions, so bitter cold, snow and ice, wind and rain, and thankfully some sunshine. But the team have been there to support us with the early mornings and the late starts. And I just wanted to say a huge thank you to our wonderful community team who continue to be a crucial part of Three Valleys Health COVID vaccination programme. Hello, Denise and the team. I am delighted that you've won this award. So pleased for you all, and really underlines the support and dedication that you've offered to us since January. Thank you very much from Three Valleys Health, from myself personally, and from all of the team. Well done.
Well, some great stories there. Congratulations to all those teams, and again, thank you to James for introducing them. I would like to also now invite Joe Scammell, Acting Head of Business Unit at Virgin Care, to announce the next 2 winning teams, please.
Thank you. Yes, I got some really lucky to be announcing the next award. It goes to the organisation who's used their existing resources to support vulnerable families when they were forced to close their door on their regular activities last year. They've raised over £60,000 in order to provide 25,000 two-course meals, which have been delivered free to vulnerable families through local charities and also through the community hub. And they've even gone so far as to check their meals are nutritionally balanced and suitable for young children, which I think is just fantastic. And they've committed to providing the support until August this year to make sure that there's consistent support for charities and for the people they're helping. So please join me in congratulating the Bath Freemasons Square Meals Project. We've now got a short film from their nominator David Hogg and also from Jimmy Dean of Sporting Family Change, whose recipients have benefited from the meals, and they'll explain a little bit more about their work.
Hello, my name's David Hogg. I'm a Bath Freemason, and I'm also a member of the Somerset Freemasons communications team. when everything kicked off over a year ago, Trevor Quatermain, the chairman of the Bath Masonic Hall Trust, realised that there was probably a need to help, and he looked around and saw he had an empty hall, empty Masonic hall, no activity, a commercial kitchen, and a professional chef. But how could he use that to help the community? So he involved his good friend Malcolm Toogood to come up with a business plan and an idea to perhaps provide food for the needy of Bath and surrounding areas. They had a conversation with Ben, the chef, and asked him to consider what he might be able to produce in the way of nutritious frozen meals. And then going into production, starting off at something like 300 a week and then peaking at about 600 a week. Over the year, having actually produced 25,000 meals, that's roughly on average 500 meals a week. But then, of course, there was the challenge of distribution. Where were the most needy and how could they actually get the meals to them? They involved the charities of Mercy in Action for Alison Todd, and Gilly Edwards and Jimmy Dean of Sporting Family Change.
The charity I work for, Sporting Family Change, I think the biggest impact has been to supplement food across all of Baines, actually, not just in the Midsummer Norton Rastock area. I think the quality of the food and also the quantity and how they're put together has been amazing. I know for the hundreds of families we've supported, without it, lots of people have struggled and gone hungry. And it's now into May 2021 and we're still going, which is cool. There are actually a number of families we still see that are quite dependent, which is not necessarily a bad thing, on that to supplement their current food. It's been amazing for us and we feel very privileged. So all the people who worked hard behind the scenes to create the meals, deliver the meals. And I think the biggest thing for me is actually the quality of them. You know, it's obviously taken someone quite a lot of time to put the foods together. And it's just been brilliant for us. And rightly so, and there's obviously been some amazing kind people out there, all those involved in the programme.
A huge congratulations to the team and a personal thank you from the Hub, because we can see what a difference that you make, and a real difference to the people that you support. The next award goes to a truly special and large-ranging team and their leader, and this is this includes a member of staff and also over 2,000 volunteers who provided support on an ongoing basis to the residents of Bath and North East Somerset since the first lockdown in March last year. Not only have they provided people with support around shopping collections, but they've also delivered leaflets. We've seen them send Wellbeing packs. They've assisted the vaccination centre at the racecourse. They delivered Christmas, a huge number of Christmas meal project to people at home, Easter eggs. And this team has been led by Sarah Williams-Martin. And Sarah's nominator said that Sarah does an incredible job of managing over 2,000 volunteers made up of a core team of around 40 individuals who are all superstars in their own right. And we couldn't agree more. So please congratulate Sarah Williams-Martin and the 3SG volunteers. We've got a short message from the Vice Chair of Trustees, Melissa Hillier, and Claire Foster from the Community Wellbeing Hub to thank the team for all the work they've done.
Thank you to Sarah and all the volunteers who have worked so hard over the last year for 3SG and provided so much support to so many people across Baines. We are incredibly proud of you and lost for words, really. The response from the community has been just unbelievable in coming forward and offering help to others. And also, Sarah, you have been just a power horse in getting everything together, supporting everybody, sorting out payments, and just supporting all those volunteers. And I know a lot of it has been in your own time. So thank you so much. We absolutely could not have done it without you. And volunteers, you have been amazing, and it has been a truly uplifting experience. Thank you very much.
My name is Claire, and I've been working on the triage team at the Community Wellbeing Hub since the start of lockdown last year. We have had over 12,000 calls, and many of those calls have been requests from people asking for shopping and collecting their medication. We are so grateful for Sarah and their team of volunteers who responded really quickly and provided this vital service. Without them, our job would have been extremely difficult. They have been a lifeline to so many. We want to say a huge thank you for all that they have done and congratulations on their awards.
Again, congratulations to all of those winners, those team winners, all of them amazing shining lights who have supported people when they needed it most. We are all very grateful. Our final two awards go to two very special individuals that have demonstrated leadership, compassion, and have put others first during a very challenging year. I'm going to invite back Ruth Atkins to present these two awards. Ruth.
Thank you. This award goes to an individual who has showed leadership by making use of the resources at Salford Community Association to provide support to local residents during the pandemic. He has set up a helpline, distributed leaflets, liaised with local shops, organised events, provided hot meals, and raised funds to offer a hardship fund for local residents. Councillor Duncan Hounsell, his nominator, said he's thoroughly deserving of an award and public acknowledgement of his fantastic contribution to the community at this time of national emergency. Please join me in congratulating Christopher Essex. We have a special message from Councillor Duncan Hounsell, who nominated Christopher, thanking him for his work.
Essex is well known and respected in Salford. Chris's great organisational ability. He can split challenging tasks into achievable steps. Chris's empathy and warmth, infectious enthusiasm, and is a great team leader. Chris contributes so much to community life. All those aptitudes were brought to bear during the pandemic. Chris Essex is thoroughly deserving of an award and public acknowledgement of his fantastic contribution to the community at this time of national emergency. Chris Essex is very modest. He will view this award as an award for Salford. And I'd just like to say to him, on behalf of Salford, thank you and well done.
Congratulations, Chris. The work that you've done in your community is truly inspirational. The final award goes to a key worker who has made many people smile over the past year with generous gifts of flowers. In March last year, our winner, who works for Tesco's in Poulton, noticed that there was a surplus of flowers left at her store at the end of the day. Instead of the bunches being thrown out, she asked if she could take them home with her. She gathered up the bouquets and on her way home, quietly distributed them on her neighbours' doorsteps at the end of her late night shift. Local neighbours began to talk about the mysterious flowers left on their doorsteps, and a Facebook group and messages of thanks were given to the flower fairy of Rydlington. Please congratulate Caroline Huins. We have a special message for Caroline's friend, from Caroline's friend Pippa, who nominated her.
The flower fairy's real name is Caroline, and she lives in Redstock, and I've known her since our children were little. She's a very quiet, unassuming lady, but has an absolute heart full of gold. And during this last lockdown, she has very generously taken her time to, when she's finished working at Tesco's, to go and deliver flowers to people's doorsteps. Lots of people in the area had noticed this was happening, and they set up a Facebook page for her, a Facebook group called the Ruthlington Flower Fairy, and people started to post photographs of the bunches of flowers that were left and how it had brightened up their day, and soon the page was just filled and filled with pictures that people had shared of their flowers that the flower fairy had left for them. I wrote a nice poem about her, and I thought I'd share it with you. It started just over a year ago in some streets around Radstock, when local people looked outside and found flowers left on their doorstep. Bunches of blooms mysteriously appeared when the sun began to rise, but no one could work out just who it was. Who was leaving these thoughtful surprise? They named them the Ruthlington Flower Fairy, someone with a heart full of care, who, armed with bunches of flowers from Tesco, their kindness and warmth they did share. Through the warm summer months, and then into autumn, the Flower Fairy crept through the night. How did they do it? Nobody knows, but they spread squeals of joy and delight. Whilst we were locked down in our homes all day long, with some of us not venturing outside, the love that was felt when we opened our doors, well, that Flower Fairy must be bursting with pride. See, no matter what season, through snow, wind and rain, in the darkness coming home from their shift, past parked cars and animals and security lights, they tiptoed to give us all a lift. A key worker, using their exercise time to surprise local neighbours and friends. Who is it that hides behind their COVID mask? And will their kind deeds ever end? It's been a whole year now, and they're still spreading joy. That Flower Fairy's gone out of their way to make this lockdown just that little bit brighter as they then carry on with their day. So Flower Fairy, you've helped many people feel special in a year that's been tough. That is true. So this special award is to just shine a light and say thank you for the kindness shown by you.
Thank you very much, Ruth, for introducing those. A couple of stories that really touched our hearts, as we know when we went through the deliberations. And thanks again to all our partners who have assisted me this evening. I wouldn't have been able to do this without you, so thank you again. And a huge congratulations to all the winners. It's all been very well deserved, and you should be proud of yourselves. Your stories are truly inspirational, and thank you for sharing them with us. So on behalf of Bath and North East Somerset, I'm very proud to have presented these awards this evening. I'd like to now say just a few thanks, because things like this don't come together by accident. I'd like to thank everyone who has been nominated this evening. You have done so much for your community, particularly over this last year. You have all shown such compassion, dedication and commitment. And above all, you're all very special people. We are all very proud to live and be part of a place that is caring and compassionate. I'd also like to thank all nominators for putting these people forward, and organisations, because without them, without the nominators, we wouldn't have had these heartwarming stories. I'd like to thank the input and support from our partner organisations, as said, and a special thanks also to Sarah, Mark, Sarah and Lucy and the team from Bath and North East Somerset for a massive effort in pulling this together and make it happen. So this is my final event as my role as chair of the council. It has been a real privilege to be part of this celebration tonight, and we hope that you have enjoyed all the stories of our winners tonight. And thanks for joining us, although we can't see you in the flesh. Therefore, before we finally close this evening, the new chair of the council, Councillor Lisa O'Brien, will say a few words. Lisa, over to you.
Thank you, Andy. Good evening, everyone. I feel truly humbled by the exceptional people we have honoured this evening. Our society is based on community, and that sense of community, already strong in many parts of our area, has risen above the anguish and despair caused by the pandemic to shine throughout Baines. I say to you, both the winners and to all of those who have been nominated, your selfless, caring and determined attitude to bring hope, pleasure and relief in these darkest times has cemented even further the enduring character of our community. From the bottom of my heart, I say thank you. Thank you. Good night to you all.